How y'all doing, man? I'm here. I'm here, chopping it up like I do. Glad to have everybody tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, on the Tariq Twitter space. Damn it. What's up, D Tupman? What's up, Rico? What's up, Wayne? Twizzle? I see y'all in here. We in here. We in here heavy. Let me see a nice empowered FBA fist from everybody in here we're representing. I would like to see an empowered FBA fist. We got people piling in very quickly. We're going to chop up some good game as we always do. Ladies and gentlemen, before we do, don't forget we're having a Juneteenth celebration at the Hidden History Museum next Saturday, June 17th. June 17th. Next Saturday, June 17th. We're having a celebration that's going to be popping. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com to get your tickets to join us. It's going to be a nice celebration, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, we're talking about Juneteenth. Speaking of Juneteenth, is Juneteenth being co-opted? Is Juneteenth being co-opted, ladies and gentlemen? We've seen a lot of funny style stuff going on with Juneteenth. A lot of funny stuff happening. Have y'all noticed a lot of people are now trying to claim black? A lot of people who weren't before. I saw a clip where, what was his name? What's my boy's name? Godfrey. Shout out to Godfrey, our brother. Godfrey was interviewing some East Indian dude. He's like, I'm black. I'm black too. Yes, I identify as black. I'm like, what? What? Me and my people, we identify as black. I'm like, nigga, what? No. What the heck? You got East Indians talking about they black now. Now people they see a check that might be popping off. So now you got people kind of claim jump now. We gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. You got all types of people now trying to claim black. You know, now people are trying to claim those black abuelas. People are trying to claim those indigenous people in Asia and all of these other places. So people are now trying to, there's a claim jump thing going on right now. It's a very interesting dynamic because they see, the thing is, we as foundational black Americans, we have now stopped playing this game where we're told all of these other people are exotic and there's some type of intrinsic value in them, and we've started to see the intrinsic value within ourselves. We are starting to center ourselves around our foundational black American culture and put value on it and then exclude. You see, that's where the power comes in. Power comes when you exclude people from certain areas of your culture. See, we've been playing this game where we've been the ultra inclusive people. We're told black people, especially foundational black Americans, we got to be the big melting pot. People only do that melting pot talk when we come around. The inclusive talk is when we come around. You understand? When we are talking about getting something, it's all about including everybody. And as we all know, nobody includes us in shit. We don't get included in anything. We can't be a part of other people's culture and claim it and all that. No, we can't do that. They let us know very quickly that we can't do that. And the thing is, when we center ourselves around Juneteenth, as we should have been doing a long time ago, now we're seeing people try to co-opt that and then tell us that we have to be inclusive about Juneteenth. You understand what I'm saying? And we don't have to be inclusive because Juneteenth is about foundational Black American history and freedom. There's a very specific reason why Juneteenth was a thing. And it goes back to our lineage and bloodline as foundational Black Americans. That's something that's about us. And that's why people are correct in getting the colors straight, getting the colors right. I had some people do a flyer for me and they put those um, African colors on it, and I used that as a stand-in because I knew we were getting the other flyer done. So we had that other flyer changed, and we made them get the colors right. But every time we talk about Juneteenth, people want to put all of these non-FBA colors in there. We have to be Africanized all the time, and we're saying no, 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 no. We're going to focus on this culture here. And when we say Juneteenth is our thing, we are told, well, we all black, we all supposed to be this and all. How why y'all xenophobic and divisive? Y'all can't be xenophobic and divisive. Oh, that's so divisive and xenophobic. And the thing is, let me tell you something, family. When we touch other people's culture, they are quick to check us. Remember when Michael B. Jordan had that Gervais liquor? He named his liquor Gervais. Remember that? I think I'm pronouncing the name right. And the Trinidadians started talking all of that damn smack and basically shamed him into changing the name, from what I understand. They had a hissy fit. They said, hey, man, Gervais, that's our word. Don't you dare use our word. Our word, Gervais, that ain't got nothing to do with y'all black Americans. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Just the name. He wasn't trying to, exploit the culture. He just made a liquor. It was a Caribbean themed liquor. And hey, let me name it Gervais. That's a popular term in Trinidad. And they were like, hell no. Don't y'all touch our stuff. Well, I'm on the same energy too. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair a damn enough. If that's what it is, let's keep it like that all the way across the board. Don't you touch Juneteenth. Let's just keep it funky all the way across the board. Don't you have a Miss Juneteenth celebration or contest, and you're giving Juneteenth money to tethers, right? Right? Let's keep that same energy across the board, because here's the thing, and we talked about that story the other day where the Nigerian woman won that Juneteenth money. Now, think about that for a minute. That whole Juneteenth celebration thing, or that Miss Juneteenth, think about that. Wasn't that weird? That whole thing was weird. A Miss Juneteenth contest. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that some of the white supremacists up there in Milwaukee, they put that together and did that, and got a tether to be Miss Juneteenth. I think they did that deliberately as a slight and an insult to us. I really think they did that deliberately, because having a Miss Juneteenth contest, what the hell does that mean? Well, why would you don't have a Miss Memorial Day? You did? That doesn't make sense. A Miss Juneteenth, and they were asking her what Juneteenth meant, and she was talking all of this vague stuff. Well, it means the happiness and togetherness, and no, it don't mean none of that. I don't know what you're talking about. So what was that whole thing about? That made zero sense. Again, I'm thinking that they did it for the sole purpose of being disrespectful. I think they were deliberately trying to be disrespectful. I want y'all to understand, the white supremacists, they understand lineages and bloodlines. They understand it. They understand that our lineage is different, and they understand that we have a different vibe and a different temperament. The white supremacists don't do stuff by happen chance. They do stuff very deliberately, and they know our lineages very, very well. They documented it. That's why certain parts of the country, they were very particular about bringing in black people from certain lineages and bloodlines who had certain skills. You understand? They like to bring in certain black folks who lived in wooded areas, because they understood, they knew how to build cabins better than others. Out there in parts of the Carolinas, they knew how to get black people from the rice coast of Africa, and they would purchase them because they knew how to cultivate rice, and they were cultivating rice out there in parts of South Carolina. So they knew who to bring in based on their bloodlines and their lineages. And they knew who not to bring in too. They were like, hey, some of these Negroes don't bring them Negroes from the swamp. If you done caught some swamp niggas, don't bring them down here because they'll turn up. Don't bring them niggas from Angola over here because they'll turn up. They'll start hitting us with that capoeira and start kicking us all in the chin and shit. So we can't have them up here because they did that in Haiti. They had a lot of them Angolan Negroes up there in Haiti. And that's one thing. They were using that damn Angolan capoeira mixed with some Vodun in Haiti, and they turned up on their ass. So the white supremacists are very well aware of the lineages and what comes with that lineage. They understand that. And they knew to go pick that woman, that tether, to parade her around as Miss Juneteenth because they know that woman ain't gonna really stomp for the real meaning of Juneteenth and what it means to us, from the lineage of people who were enslaved and what it meant and the importance of it and it being about our freedom. They want to cover that up. There's this whole thing where they want to cover up the whole slavery and um, the killing fields of these plantations. They want to cover that story up. That's why in Florida they're banning books and things like that. And that's why it's important for us to keep the narrative fresh, to keep the information out there, for us to teach the information because they are deliberately trying to bury it. So even with Juneteenth, um, we were asking for reparations for the last couple of years, and they just kind of threw us the Juneteenth bone by making it a national holiday. But they're like, yeah, we'll make it a national holiday, but we're going to do everything we can to co opt it. So, what they'll do, and we've talked about this before, they will either try to Africanize it or they'll LGBTize it. They'll start mixing it in with some of these LGBT celebrations. Have y'all seen that? Yeah. Have y'all seen that? They're very good at doing that too, and we got to watch out for that because they'll go from one thing, they'll start talking about Juneteenth. Oh, we're gonna have a good old celebration, inclusiveness and diversity and pride. And watch these words. Watch these words. They'll slip these words in. They'll slip a word in there, and then we'll let them get away with that word. They'll start saying pride and dignity and pride and pride and pride, and all of a sudden, your kente cloth turns into a thong. You dig? And then it turns into something else. And the thing is, man, we got to say, hey, this is what the culture is. This is what the history is. We have to stomp down on that. And we got to stop being afraid. Because, see, we think if we start circling around our culture, we're going to offend people. If people are offended by us circling our culture, well, they weren't shit anyway, because y'all circle your culture when y'all have Puerto Rican Day parades, Caribbean Day parades, Jamaican Day parades, Haiti Day, Flag Day. Hey, we shout you all out. That's perfectly fine. The minute we say, hey, we as foundational Black Americans, what is that shit, nigga? What is that shit for FBA? We're all brothers. Now we all brothers. Yeah. Don't be divisive and xenophobic. Because there's this thing, people got this sense of entitlement that we are supposed to sacrifice as foundational Black Americans our well-being for every damn body. We ain't supposed to get shit. That's the whole narrative. We ain't supposed to get nothing. Everything we do is to sacrifice our well-being for the betterment of others. Damn that. Those days are over. We are getting ours. We're focusing on what we need to focus on. Damn all that. We're going to get what we're supposed to get, ladies and gentlemen. So, as Juneteenth approaches, Juneteenth is next week, we got to stay on our square, keep the focus on what Juneteenth is really about, make sure the colors are right, and make sure they don't Pan Africanize it, because that's what Juneteenth was not about. Nobody going to Africa and none of that stuff, and nobody's denigrating Africa, but it was about us getting our freedom here. And also, we got to understand, we got to get the Civil War story straight too. That's another thing as foundational Black Americans. Don't let the white supremacists think that we were just sitting around helpless and from the kindness of their heart, they freed us from the evil racist Confederates. There's a lot of the Civil War story that has not been told. I might have to do a whole documentary on that shit too. We got to get a lot of that stuff straight. A lot of folks don't know um, the Confederacy at one point. They, like around the last year of the Civil War, they were about to free the enslaved black people. The Confederates were too, because they saw what the North was doing, and the Confederates were about to free black people and arm them at the last minute. And I think they actually passed something to let it go through because they were getting beat by the North, because the North had got all those brothers. They recruited so many brothers, and the brothers were whooping ass. So the South was like, well, shit, we got to leverage this shit up. So we'll tell the black people in the South, we'll let them be free too. And when they signed this deal, General Lee surrendered already, so the war was over. They lost. But we got to tell the whole story and the whole history and our importance in it, because this whole thing that, and white supremacists love saying this, y'all got to check them when they say this. Well, you guys got your reparations, man. Thousands of hard fighting white people died for you to be free. Shut the, man. Y'all better shut that down. This is why you better know some history. Don't let them get away with that bullshit. Don't let them get away with that. We have to shut these folks down with facts. What's up, Juicy Genius? I see you in here, beloved. All right, let me get some folks in here. There's a lot of people in here right now. A lot of people in here. Let's get Metro. I think that's your name. Metro. Can y'all hear music in the background? If you, I got my television on in the background. My baby girl is sitting here watching Coco Melon, and I got it low. That's her shit. You see how quiet she is? You put on that Coco Melon, well, she's cool. That's her stories right there. So can y'all hear Coco Melon in the back? Y'all might hear a little faint sound of Coco Melon and my daughter in here dancing in her damn crib. But yeah, y'all, if you got kids, y'all know that Coco Melon is the shit. You gotta sit their asses down for hours with that Coco Melon. Matro, what's your name, man? Hop on. Hop on, Matro, whatever your name is, man. Hop on, homie. Turn your microphone on if you're confused as to what to do. All right. So Metro ain't getting on. All right, let's get C Che. I think that's your name, Che. Let's see, I can't read for shit. Che, I think that's your name. Turn your microphone on. Okay, he got out of here. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. And I see T.S. Giselle up there. Oh Lord, no, not right now. Draymond, you want to get Draymond? You want to get in here, bro? We got a lot of people in here. Draymond, want to hop on?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's going on,
Yeah,
man?
yeah, man, what's up, man? Yeah, man, this was just all news to me, man. It's kind of sad that it is trying to be co-opted. I actually am African. I'm not FBA, but like, I don't want to take away y'all's thing. So, like, yeah, it's kind of you know, messy that this thing's happening.
Right, right. What part of Africa are you from, bro?
I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, there you go. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's all about just respect. You just respect the culture. You know, when we do something, it just seems like there's a rush for everybody to just kind of co-opt it, and anything associated with it, they got to benefit off of it. But we are not allowed to do the same with their culture. Like I couldn't go to the Congo and try to become, get a scholarship over there in the Congo, talking about, hey, I'm black. Yeah, y'all would throw some at my ass. You know, so it is what it is. Well, but thank you so much, Dre. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Metro, can you get on now? I'm gonna have to take, there you go.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I just had a question regarding the term tether.
Yes, go ahead.
Why do you include the Caribbeans and Africans into one group? They're kind of two different groups.
Okay. I don't really can put you in one group, but you're black. So I kind of do. I put us all in the same category as global black people. Is that what you mean?
Well, the way I'm thinking about Caribbeans is I think they're more closer to FBAs than they would be to Africans,
Mm. How so?
at least from a lineage point of view. Like, even if you were to assume that you guys were native, then the Caribbeans would be native to their islands.
Well, yeah, they claim, a lot of Caribbeans don't actually claim Africa. They don't say I'm African Jamaican or I'm African Haitian. I'm just Haitian, or they say, well, they're just Trinidadian. They claim that lineage, and that's fine. We're told that we ain't supposed to do that. We're told that we got to claim some African nation that we lived in 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, and we're saying no, no, we're foundational Black American. We're native to the United States. Um, Now, what you feel like you're different? Now, what are you? Caribbean or African? What are you?
I'm African, so East
Okay, what part
African,
of that? What part? Somalia, Eritrea.
Eritrea.
Okay. So and the thing with you guys, y'all don't even think you're like other Africans. A lot of y'all think y'all completely different. A lot of you, when y'all come over here, a lot of East Africans, you guys classify yourselves as white. Do you classify yourself as white?
No, I mean there's distinctions, of course. It's like there are distinctions with even FBAs and Caribbeans because you kind of all grouped into one category. You're the blacks of the Americas, so to speak, including South America. So in the same way, Africa has North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, and then of course us East Africans. We're not all one group, but we're all part of that common black group. We just have distinct ethnic backgrounds.
Right, right. But there's a lot of East Africans who kind of identify with being Arabs to a certain degree, right?
Nah, those are the coons. We don't associate those coons.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. Yeah, there's a lot of them, a lot of them. There are a lot of them. But there it is. All right, man. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for calling.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
All right. Okay, that was Matro. I think that's his name. All right, let's get some more people in here. We're in here heavy. Let's get Robert. Let's get Mr. Robert. Let's talk to Robert. Mr. Robert, hop on, sir. Robert, Robert, turn your microphone on, sir. Robert, are you here? Waiting on you to unmute yourself. If you're having trouble, just unmute yourself and you can speak. And while we're waiting on Robert to get it together, let's get there's a few people in here. Let's get Nat Turner's Bible in here while we're waiting on Robert. Nat Turner's Bible, what's up, man? Nat Turner's Bible, turn your microphone on.
All right, there it is. I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hello? Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead,
All
sir.
right.
I hear you.
All
Go
right,
ahead, brother.
cool. All right. No, I just wanted to point something out really, really quick. With the Miss Juneteenth thing. And I want to walk you from history to on to the present, but I'll be very, very brief with it. Get the image
Okay.
in your mind about how they used to dress little boys on the plantations in them little raggedy dresses.
Yep.
And then get the image in your mind about how some of them do the little adopted kids that they adopt, how they got them in rags. And then if you look at the girl, not coming down on her or throwing shade or nothing like that, but she looks like an adult version of the two that I just mentioned, man. And so that makes
Right.
me think that it was something else going on with that. That whole thing looked off to me, man. And I just wanted to point that out. I thought I was tripping. I know I'm not the only one who saw that, man.
Right. Right. Thank you. Yeah. And I mentioned, she had like a little thrift store dress. And not to denigrate, I'm not denigrating anybody. If some people might not have it. If you got to wear thrift store clothes, I mean that's what it is. You're not a bad person. I'm not denigrating anybody, but a lot of people, when we see black folks who are brought over here by white families, those are the kind of clothes they usually wear. Yeah, these are. She dressed like a black person who was raised by white people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a certain swag that you can tell. Now, even like African families, there's a certain swag you can tell. You can tell a kid who's raised by African parents. He'll come to school in a three-piece suit, and you dig. He have on a leisure suit, and you can tell. You can tell a woman who was raised by African family. She comes to school. She's in the fifth grade. She has a Tina Turner wig on, so you can tell. Okay, she has African parents. But the kids who are raised by white people, there's a different swag. The hair is kind of weird, and they have these weird old ass, almost plantation looking clothes to a certain degree. I've seen this many times. Some black kids from Africa somewhere, the Caribbean, adopted by white people, and the white people dress them like they're in the 1800s or something, and they treat them like plantation pickaninnies. It's a real weird vibe. So yeah, that's a very interesting observation about old girl. And again, I'm not trying to. I don't say that to denigrate at all. I'm not saying that to denigrate. It's just a. We know how these white supremacists are when they get with black people, and then they'll elevate a black person and prop them up. Whenever they start propping up black people, especially for something like Juneteenth, you didn't screen that person. That person has been screened before. Let's get Day. I think that's your name.
Day zero.
Day Zero. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? Like we were just you guys were just talking about African American clothes and how I was raised by white people, as you can probably tell by the sound of my voice. I was adopted by white people. My entire family's white. I'm the only black person in my entire family, aside from my younger sister, who's also adopted. But
Now hold on. Let's slow down. Where's your biological family?
um, since I was adopted and my adoption was closed, I was never able to actually track down my biological family. That's kind of something I've been working on, but it's one of those things that kind of leads to nowhere.
You go to ancestry.com, man. Ancestry.com, they got DNA and all that stuff. Man, we done found adopted some of our relatives that were adopted or given up for adoption, and we done found them. And it's they got a lot of useful tools there. Now, is your family, your biological family, do you know if they were from the United States or were they
Yes,
foreign or what?
they were from the United States. I know that my mother was from Detroit. I was born and raised. Well, at least I was born and I was raised in Detroit. But my adopted parents, they grew up in Detroit. They grew up during the Detroit riots and things like that. And
Now, are you biracial? Were you biologically biracial?
I believe so. I mean, I'm not a dark skinned brother, as you can tell by my profile picture. I'm not a
Yeah, I'm
dark
looking
skinned
at
brother.
you. So most likely you had a white mother. You
Um,
probably had a white.
well, my mother I know was black.
Oh,
Um,
she was black. Oh,
yes, and as far as I know from what my adopted mother tells me, that she was um Haitian.
oh shit. Okay.
But my adopted parents, they always they exposed me to a lot of things that were, from experiences that I had. Other people who were adopted or other black people who were adopted would try to treat them like, oh well, we're going to raise you as one of us, as kind of, you know what I'm saying, like, we're going to raise you like your white folk.
Right, right,
We're not
right.
going to treat
And
you
yet,
any different.
and the sister, hold on, and the sister is that's your biological sister, dude?
No, she was adopted too. She's actually uh Afro Caribbean.
Right. Yeah, because yeah, look, we foundational Black American, we don't really give our kids up for adoption like that. You know, that's something we don't really do. Somebody in the family is going to take care of the kids. That's our thing.
Right.
Um, a lot of white women who have biracial kids, they'll give them up, or some of these the tether parents or whatever. But now your adopted family, what was their vibe?
My dad he's a 80% Cherokee Native American.
Oh wow,
uh,
okay.
and is I was adopted in Michigan, and the time of my adoption, I was one of the first, one of the few black children that was adopted by a white family. And I
Yeah.
remember going through the court systems, and we had a black social worker who was trying to place me with a black family, which I can understand. And her argument was, oh, well, we can raise them, your adopted parents, they're not going to be able to raise you in the culture
Now,
that
what year are we talking? What year is this?
this is 1984.
Okay, the 80s. Okay.
Yes.
What part of Detroit did you grow up on? What side?
East side.
Okay, did you go to Kettering?
No, I went to, well, by the time I went to school, they moved me out to the suburbs. And
Oh, okay.
in fact, when I was going to school, I was the only black person in the entire district up until
Okay.
like the 5th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so they were trying to, the social worker was trying to tell my parents, oh, well, you can't raise them in black culture. Well, my dad, my adoptive father, he's like, well, I'm Native American, and we were told the same things. Like, we were put up into adoption with these white families and things like that, and we were told the same things, and they were trying to raise us into that white culture. And so I have that similar, I'm not saying I have the same experience as a black child, but I have a similar experience of being raised up in this white culture that's not what I was born, or what I should have been born into. And
Mm.
so I have that affinity for a lot of people. Well, at least my parents, because they never made me think like, oh, we adopted you because we want to raise you in a white culture or anything like that. Like, I feel like they adopted me because we want the best for you, and we want to allow you to experience life, um to expose you to this type of culture, and to let you know that, yeah, there's definitely bad people out there. There's definitely cultures out there that, you're a part of a system that's not going to respect you,
Right.
but you have to build up that tough skin and find your own truths. Just
Now, what's
like,
the relationship with your adoptive parents now? How are you good? Are you guys good now?
we've always been good. Like I say,
Good.
my parents grew up through the riots. My mother used to tell me stories like, oh yeah, we were like, first off, my mother always hung with black folks. Like, that's what the thing was. But she's like, yeah, I remember going to school, and during the Detroit riots, I was chased home from school by black kids. I was chased home from school by white kids because I was associating with black kids.
Yeah.
And she was always that type of person who's like, I just prefer to be with I feel safer in the company of black people.
Right.
And so she was always on the side of black people. So I never really looked at her as like, she was kind of like an inspiration to me. Like, yeah, I feel more comfortable with black people, so I want you to associate with black people. But at the
That's a
same time, I'm the one who's there to take care of you.
right. That's an interesting story, man. That's a very interesting upbringing, man. Heavy. Are you married? Got kids now?
Yes, I'm married. My wife is. It's kind of one of those things like, are you attracted to your culture and your people, or are you attracted to what you grew up with? Because I'm married to a white woman, and
Oh,
we have biracial kids. And
right.
it's like, I never looked at it as like all black and white. I looked at it as like, yeah, I was just raised up and I was surrounded by white people. So that's kind of what my natural attraction was. I'm sure if I was raised around mostly black people, that'd probably be my attraction. Not that I'm not attracted to black women. I think they're some of the most beautiful people on earth.
Right.
But that's kind of what I grew up with, so that's kind of what I'm naturally attracted to. So yes, I'm married. I have 3 kids, and I expose my oldest is 13 years old. I expose her to channels like yours, and various other channels. I'm not going to put any names out there, but various other channels of FBAs and everything like that. And I always tell her, like, foundational Black Americans are Black Americans who were brought here from various regions of Africa, and they built this country, and you're part of that heritage. You may not be full part of that, but you are black, and you're always going to be treated as black, no matter how light your skin is. As far as they're concerned, you're dark enough to be considered one of them. So you always got to be ready but you always got to respect the people who built this country, and that's how I try to teach my children.
There you go, my man. Well, Day, I appreciate you, man. Good talk, man. Real good talk, brother. Thank you so much. Interesting story. It's very interesting.